What's going on, guys? So, I just got a notification that there's a sneak peek of The Killing Joke online right now. And if you don't know the storyline, it's super dope. Look it up. It's incredible. Probably one of my favorite, if not my favorite, Batman stories. But there is a new movie coming out, animated movie, and DC's animated movies are the shit. Oh my god, they're so good. But I'm gonna watch a sneak peek of this. It's not gonna be the full. I have snippets of it because I obviously don't want to get a copyright claim on this. However, I do want to give you like my impressions of it, so it'll be pieced kind of together for you guys, or I might post the whole thing. Who knows? But let's get into it.
He's been in custody for 2 years.
He'll confess.
He's insane. It's a mistake to think you know what he'll do.
Well, what's interesting about doing The Killing Joke right now, this is like literally the third time we've even mooted the idea of actually doing The Killing Joke.
It was one of these stories that has always sort of been on the table. But again, because the subject matter is so shocking, I think, especially in this day and age, there was always a problem, like, do we do it or not?
I think some of what helps The Killing Joke is obviously the pedigree of the comic itself, but the pedigree of the people who are working on it. These are the Batman the Animated Series
so good.
creators.
This is not a comic book. This is not something that guys wearing long johns should be doing. It was really shocking, and to this day it's still shocking. But the effect the comic had on the Joker as a character in mass media, it all kind of started with The Killing Joke.
Batman and Joker are these sort of fractured reflections of each other. They both were born from tragedy, and one went one way and one went the other way.
Obviously, the Joker was the perfect guy to hold up that mirror to Batman, and this is a pretty sophisticated take on that.
All these years, and I don't know who he is any more than he knows who I am.
Are you sure of that?
What do you mean?
I mean, don't underestimate him.
Straight up.
Well, The Killing Joke is probably one of the most famous graphic novels from the 80s. And part of it, is the origin story of the Joker. I had read that Alan Moore had talked about this just being an Elseworld story, but because the story is so riveting and shocking, I think a lot of people took Joker's origins and sort of made it canon.
One of the main thrusts of The Killing Joke is a series of flashbacks that the Joker is remembering about how he actually became the Joker, his literal one bad day.
I find the past such a worrying, anxious place.
Well, I think, the concept of characters having a bad day, obviously Bruce Wayne had a bad day early on. And the Joker, he makes one bad decision in his life and it affects his entire future.
Memories can be vile, repulsive little brutes. Like children, no?
And I think Joker's point is, there's all these ideals that you uphold. There's all these things that you want. There's all these dreams that you imagine. But what happens when it doesn't work out for you? What happens if you have just one bad day?
Any person, any just regular Joe on the street, if they have one bad day, if it's bad enough, they can become as bad as the Joker.
Straight up. That philosophy is sick.
Visually, this movie was a real challenge. I mean, it's always a challenge when we're adapting something from a comic that's as famous as this one is.
It's so realistic that it would be a nightmare to animate.
There's some things that work in a comic that don't work as cinema, so you always have to kind of try to keep the truth of it or keep the spirit of the comic. For this particular comic, Brian Bolland's artwork is so gorgeous that when you're reading the comic, you can at least kind of go, well, at least I've got pretty pictures to look at while I'm reading this horrible story.
That's
it's so
true.
beautifully drawn. It's so his draftsmanship is just spectacular. But his art style is a real huge challenge for us.
And I think we kind of came up with a sort of a hybrid style. Because the Bolland style is so realistic and so detailed, we tried to look at maybe something else that sort of felt a little bit like his. So we looked at a period in Kevin Nolan's art style we looked at because we kind of felt like it was a stripped down version enough, but it was animatable.
True.
It's a good approximation of it. Every now and then I'll see a drawing and go, wow, that's a really good Joker drawing. That actually kind of reminds me of Brian Bolland, or that's a really good Batman drawing. That looks like a Brian Bolland drawing. And so we kind of went from Bolland to Kevin Nolan to strip down even further to animation.
Barbara, take it easy. It's okay.
No, it's not okay.
So I think we kind of came up with a pretty good balance to try to get the Bolland done.
We thought, well, how can we make it a full-length feature? How can we expand the story without kind of just padding it? So the idea that we came up with was to create basically a prequel to the story.
It was smart to come up with the prologue idea, which I think it was really important to show Batgirl in action in this story, just to get a sense of who she was.
The audience gets to spend more time with Barbara Gordon as a person before the events of The Killing Joke. We get to like her more, we get to understand who she is as a character.
She wasn't just somebody's daughter. She was somebody who mattered to Gotham City,
Right.
and Batman in particular.
Selfish, vile, hateful, garbage.
The hands, though. Those hands.
The Killing Joke is definitely a much more of a pinpoint story
Looks so good.
between Batman and his most famous antagonist.
The Joker is trying to prove to Batman that there's really not that much that separates them.
I think everybody can relate to a tragedy that has happened in their life, or something in their life that happens that makes them go down a certain path. These are two characters that have gone down extreme paths. They were almost born in a similar way, yet they've chosen two very dark but different paths.
In every version of Batman that's translated to film or animation, the Joker is his constant opposite.
I've always been somebody that was really more interested in sort of the characterization and what makes this person who they are. Why do they do what they do, and what is the path that they're on? And that's why I love, the story of the heroes. That's why I love superhero stories.
You're not like I am, Barbara. It's still a game for you, still a thrill.
Obviously, it is a big deal to get the Batman the Animated Series cast back together again.
So
I'm gonna
fucking
ask you
tight.
politely, one last time. Where is he?
23
That is
years
so
later,
tight.
I'm still doing the role, which is pretty amazing.
How dare you? I'm in this because of you.
Every time I see Batgirl in my schedule, I'm like, oh, that's so fun. I still get excited. I mean, I love what I do, which is why I do it.
I want him brought in, and I want it done by the book. This is a much darker story than I think the previous films showed, and in this one, Commissioner Gordon goes through quite a bit to get to the end of the story.
Fucking Mark Hamill.
Finish the commission, take him where he needs to be. And please, do be careful. After all, he is topping the bill. Every time I do this part, I let the script tell me what kind of Joker he needs to be.
Mark loves the comic. At times when he's been tired of playing the Joker, and he said, "Oh, I'm not sure I'd ever want to play the Joker again, unless they did the Killing Joke. Then I'd come back to the Killing Joke."
If people want to see a really nasty, vile Joker, this is the one. I'm crazy for it.
I don't know where that voice comes from, deep inside Mark's head, but it's uncanny, and it to an entire generation of people, that's what the Joker sounds like.
Straight up. He is the
Here they are
Joker.
now.
It's a piece of conviction. I mean, it's a story that starts with a point. It's a story that makes its point, and it doesn't shy away from, especially at the time, the comics code limitations.
When we actually got this movie out on the floor this time and got it recorded and design work and storyboarding, it kind of dawned on me that nowadays it might not even get an R rating. We could probably do this movie straight up, be a very faithful adaptation of the comic without toning anything down, We might get a PG-13. We really don't know.
I do think that that element of shock value
My battery's about to fucking die.
important when you're dealing with characters like the Joker and Batman. At that time, it was
This well that people draw from, creatively.
and has defined a lot of the Batman and Joker confrontation since then.
Oh, I'm so excited. Fuck. Okay. All right, so thoughts. I just got way too excited. I can't really process everything that I want to right now, but huge big takeaways. Kevin Conroy, Mark Hamill are back at it. This is huge. So huge. They're perfect. He is my favorite Batman voice, and obviously Mark Hamill is the best Joker there is. I cannot wait for this movie. I've been wanting The Killing Joke so bad to be an animated movie. This is like I said, this is my favorite graphic novel. If they actually made this a movie, like if DC said, hey, this is going to be a movie that we're going to make live action, fuck. Oh my God. Let me know down below, guys. Are you excited about The Killing Joke? Do you not know about The Killing Joke? Let me know in the comments down below. I am so excited right now. And if you guys like this review reaction, let me know in the comments down below and give me a thumbs up. If you guys have not subscribed to this channel yet, you're going to want to do that. Hit that APP logo in the corner to subscribe to the channel. Or if you're on mobile, hit the subscribe button. All right, guys, till next time. See you later. Thanks again for watching, guys. If you guys like this video and want to see more content like this, go ahead and click that APP logo in the corner to subscribe to the channel. Also, if you guys want to chat with me on social media, go ahead and like my Facebook page, Absolutely Tech, and follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Adonis_ATMLV. All right, guys, till next time. See you later.